Some critical areas too in the end of this video is you got to really accelerate your child's enjoyment of the sport, and you really want your child to become good at the sport. Find the best coach possible. Never underestimate a good beginning. If the fundamentals are in place, you have unlimited potential. But if there's some fundamental flaws within their technique, unfortunately, there are always going to be ceilings, and that is critical. 2, don't get in the way of your child's success. What I mean by that is don't make it more difficult than it needs to be. Remember, your child, it's their sport. So a lot of the time we have these misconceptions about how to get the most out of your children and things like that, and we get in the way. So really try, if at all any problem or you think you might be doing something wrong, step away for a second and try and reevaluate what you do. When in doubt, step out and try and let the child start gravitating towards something. Don't, if in doubt, step in. Rather go the other way. That way it still, very often the mistakes we make are very much we impinging ourselves and getting into the system of the child and learning their sport versus stepping away and letting them fall in love with their sport, and it's their thing, and they create their independence. So there's a lot of good things there too. 3, create opportunities and tests to demonstrate their commitment to the sport. Try and constantly have them taking steps in the direction that you want them to take, indicating their desire to play, and keep on affirming them, getting them to affirm the fact that they want to play the sport, and they have to constantly be showing and indicating their interest for you to continue giving them the opportunity to play the sport. Don't let them assume that they're going to be playing it. That's a wrong assumption. Make them work for the opportunity to play sport. It's actually the higher they hold it and higher value they place on it, because they have to work towards it, the more they're going to stick through in tough times, and that is exactly what you want, especially when trying to get into higher levels of the game. Frustration and conquering frustration and dealing with competition and things like that are critical. So it forms a great foundation. Remember, it's their sport and not yours. It is their performance, not yours. Don't have too much of your ego involved within the child's sport. It is a great arena for them to learn life skills and to start demonstrating independence. Unfortunately, fathers and mothers have a propensity to get involved, and they might see something from a different perspective on the stands or from the sidelines and offer an opinion. And you know what? It could be great information, but the problem is the child listens and then does what you ask, and then maybe the child is successful, but the problem is they're constantly going to look to you for solutions. Excuse me. Oh, springtime analogies. Anyway, they're constantly looking at you when times go tough for a solution. I want your child, as a tennis coach, I want your child to become a problem solver, a self-enclosed problem solver, and reference ideas within themselves and come to a conclusion and work it through by themselves. I want them to be self-reliant. I want them to be mentally tough, because on the tennis court, the rules are created in such a way that there's not too much influence from the coach during competition. Some college environments and certain team environments, there might be small little differences of that, but most of the time it's hands off with the coach, and very often the child is alone on the court playing against another child. So that way it's very good for the child to learn how to be self-reliant problem solver. Remember, the third thing too is create opportunities and tests to demonstrate their independence on the sports field, because very often the sports field is very indicative and metaphorically of life itself. So we give them a little bit more independence, and very often I want you to empower that sense of independence. So I want you to congratulate them. and empower their viewpoint. So when your child asks you for an opinion, Dad, Mom, how do you think I could have improved there? You very often turn it around and use that as an opportunity to actually bolster their self-worth and just remind them how good they are. Oh, remember that last time where you saw the problem? You're experienced enough, Johnny. You're experienced enough. You solved that previous problem before. You got it inside you. You know what to do. I trust you. You'll figure it out. Go ahead, go and enjoy your game. You'll figure out. You're a great head on your shoulders. Remember what happened last time when you figured out that one mistake where you're not following through correctly and you did it yourself? Well done. So I don't know enough. I don't know as much as you know. So go ahead, do your thing, and go and have fun. I love the fact that you're trying really hard and you really have a great attitude. And that's all that is concerned. And that's how you want to get your child into the sport and things like that, those critical areas. And just remember the feelings, that last final thing is the primary focuses in the different stages is the feelings, then the fundamentals, make sure they have very strong fundamentals, and the last thing is strategy. And all of those skills are integrated, and that's how a person learns a sport. So those are two answers: getting out the way, keeping the child in the sport as long as possible, and you being the best parent that you can be. And any more ideas, if you have any questions, send me an email and I'll try and answer any of them. Thanks very much. I hope this was informative, and I hope this helps you making decisions. And when you find yourself in these situations, I hope you reflect on these things and it'll give you some guidance. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.